Good afternoon. It is the 8th of October 2019. This is the Bull Market Watch stream. Today I'm not doing a live stream, I'm doing a pre-recorded video and then I'll upload it. Let me know in the description down below if you prefer the live version or if the recorded version is good for you. Let's jump into our routine, but first of all we'll just take a quick second to look at our disclaimer. This isn't trading advice, just market observation, and be sure to hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Now let's jump into looking at the charts here today and going through our sweep of our different time frames and our different indicators. I always forget that this abruptly ends the music as we switch scenes, but here we are looking at ADA and pretty much just observation here today. I am expecting that these are big bottom formations and that we're going to be breaking considerably higher out of these. And I'm just really observing now what is going on, and I'm sitting back kind of waiting on this until it manifests above these levels. But certainly we had buy signals earlier as we were breaking above these levels. And as it starts to break above these levels, it will give us another series of buy signals. For my own part, I'm just observing now what are these indicators doing as we go from throughout the whole process. So then I want to zoom in and just pay attention today on the 4-hour time frame. What is the on balance volume doing? Is it a positive volume here as we're setting up to be moving out of these ranges? And as we're moving out of these ranges, we'll continue to monitor it to see how it's unfolding. An important one here is on the 4-hour time frame is to keep our eye on how the MACD indicator unfolds. It may be even more important here on the 12-hour time frame, but to keep track of the two of these and how they're playing out as this is breaking out is going to make a big difference in knowing to hold on to that initial entry, or is it just going to be more sideways action? So this will be important to tell us this as time is unfolding. Let me go on to the Ichimoku cloud. Here on the 12-hour time frame, we can see that the price is just coming above the Ichimoku cloud a little bit here. And lots of conversation on our Discord chat. If you're not a member of our Discord chat, check out the link in the description below because we talk about these throughout the day and the night from people around the world that have been gathering to talk about this trading plan. It really works and we are working it. But I want to clear this off now and keep that projection in mind because it is what we're heading towards. And what I want to be watching now is the positive signs here in the Ichimoku cloud. On the 4-hour time frame, and when we zoom back out to the 12-hour time frame, we can see that the blue line has crossed above the red line, an important phase for us. Now, as this twists to the positive and the breakout continues, we have all the confirmations we need of a bottom formation here. This is what we watch for and watch for and watch for. I want to go on to Bitcoin Cash and just observe what's going on here. This isn't going to get into my trading signal portfolio until it builds structure up above these levels. It really has to prove itself to me now, and not just a little bottom formation here that looks good, and it could be good, but I'm going to make it do more work for me before I'm into it. So I'm going to observe now what is the on balance volume doing here as things are unfolding. It's still not looking good to me. And I'll observe what's going on with the MACD indicator to see how this crossover is playing itself out as time goes along. And again, I'm sitting back until this crosses above these levels. I'm just not into it. I just want to double check everything. So again, here on the 12-hour time frame, the Ichimoku cloud does have a cross to the positive, but it really needs to stage and build structure to get higher above those levels. EOS is looking marginally better, and even though it's up to these levels, it feels to me like it's going to be retesting and doing some more sideways action. And so even in this market, staying out of it until it's actually proven that it's changed directions isn't a bad idea. Instead of fighting within this range, unless you're a swing trader and you're willing to be fighting within this range and you think that's worth the money and time, then you can, but it's not so much what I'm trying to do in this approach here. This is much better though. This really supports a buy signal setting up. So as it comes up above these levels, and if it pulls back and does something and it comes, That's definitely a buy signal, and we're definitely setting up for it here. I want to see what the MACD, oops, let me go to EOS. I want to see what the MACD is telling us. Is it supporting it? And it is. So long as this continues to flare positive as we're going out, probably more interesting to look at the longer time frames to be sure that they are confirming as we're breaking out. So that's pretty good. If we go into EOS in the Ichimoku cloud, this is also looking good. It's much better stage than Bitcoin Cash. It's very similar, but an important stage higher. So again, my views are still hanging up above this level. You'll see what goes on that. And of course, you may recall that the 1, 2, 3 bottom formation breakout has two different ways to get into it. The general way is one on the breakout. The other is to just be a bit more skeptical. Wait for it to come back and retest these levels, and on strength, that's your actual entry. Rather than if it continues to go down or do more sideways action, this is one extra layer of filter to try to get away from all the FOMO and pumping that goes on when things are starting to break out. All the bots and everybody and their dog is trading those formations. So it's time to be aware of them. So now going into Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame, it's not really clear, but if this is breaking higher as we're breaking higher, that'll be more confirmation. For me, this hovering in the middle here while we're building up is kind of treacherous actually, because should it be breaking below these levels, as we're going to get some pullback in Ethereum, which wouldn't be abnormal in a turnaround market. But so long as your position size is small enough that this isn't a worry for you, all is good. Let's go on to Ethereum in the on-balance volume. I am liking this, that it's continuing on steady buying volume as we're poking our way up to the top of this. That volume should spike now. If we're breaking higher and the volume is still kind of languishing, I'm not going to really trust it so much. The volume's got to rush now. Everybody's got to get super excited when it breaks these key levels. The volume's got to rush for me to really like it. And I wouldn't be buying into it then when the volume's rushing. It's probably the worst time, but it's a good confirmation that an earlier entry is confirmed. As this has happened, we should see the MACD crossing positive. This is really indecisive. It's much more difficult to trade this. Much more difficult to trade this. So very small positions. If we're starting off with something that's difficult, start off smaller. I keep reminding myself that the bad trader is greedy at the beginning of a trade and a good trader is fearful at the beginning of a trade. I'm just looking now to see what is going on with the MACD indicator. Is this a buy signal in an uptrend as we're coming off these levels? It would be, and it is, if this is crossing to the positive and breaking out. So there's another confirmation on the 12 and the 4-hour time frame for Ethereum. I like it. It's good. Let's go on to Litecoin. Also good bullish divergence in the RSI. Beautiful technical levels. A strength in the RSI up to these levels as we're breaking out is another good confirmation. We can go on to Litecoin for the on-balance volume just to look at it, and it's not that good. So should we start to see the volume picking up and going above these levels here on this indicator on the 4-hour time frame, that'll give me the idea that there's some juice behind it. But if it stays low volume and we're breaking higher, I'll just kind of hang back and wait for it to do another stage up until, there's better. Of course, I already have some Litecoin. So let's go into Litecoin MACD indicator. This should be pulling back. It does the wave. It pulls back, then up. It pulls back, then up on this time frame, the 4-hour time frame. So the longer term time frame, so long as it stays crossed to the positive on the 12-hour and the daily, then we're getting a lot more support here. For me, this is insanely bullish. The divergence here on these longer term time frames is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Even though we zoom into this time frame, it's kind of wishy-washy. The longer term time frames give us a really clear places. Oh, insane. Really, just so beautiful to see these things that we've been talking about for a year and a half as all of this has been playing out. And now to see it setting up so beautifully. We have an amazing opportunity here. Litecoin is above the cloud on the 4-hour time frame. The blue is just crossing above the red. It's holding its own above the red here. If I go to the 12-hour time frame, same story, crossing above, looking positive. If I drag this over, not quite twisted to the positive yet. So even though Litecoin is setting up, and this is it's the time to get in and be prepared before it's actually rushing up, like we saw in TRX. Now, TRX, we've been talking about super bullish all the way along here. It was one of my favorite coins all the way through this study, because we go on and look at the volume that this was setting up with. So if we have these other coins now breaking out and giving us the volume, and we haven't taken action, then we can reinforce in our subconscious mind that we emotionally did take action. We recognize this. This is the first part of training yourself so that you are going to take action on the other coins that are setting up and haven't moved yet. So let's take this example, let's take this lesson and port it over to the coins that are giving us the opportunity now to get in before the move. Oh, I'm a super evangelist on this stuff. I'm super excited, especially when we can see the same shit setting up with other coins right now. They're giving us the advanced warning. We have an example right in front of us. I'm super stoked about this. Now, the reason I'm recording this instead of doing it live is because I have a course coming up that I am going and teaching all of these methods in much greater detail than I cover on these live streams. But look at this. This live stream really is set up so that you get all you need to learn how to trade. You can go over to IntroToCryptos.ca. You can download the free webinar or sign up, get that free webinar, learn the 5 stages of a trade, and then you are prepared in advance for this stuff. My goal is that you are a more educated audience, and now you're asking deeper questions of me as we come up to this stuff. And also so that you build some trust in this method. You build some trust in the consistency, you build some trust in the long-term plan of this, and then your beliefs are going to help you when you get to moments that are really difficult in these ascending wedge triangles that look like you should be selling out, but your exponential, you haven't got your sellout signal yet. Anyway, I'm going on. This is beautiful. I love this chart. We've been talking about this for days as it's setting up, and we're identifying all of these ranges. It's just phenomenal to be into this. I did a Bitcoin short, and then I flipped over into a long on Ripple that has been doing very well since the Bitcoin did its drop down here. I flipped over just at the right time as this switched out. Very nice. Great to see the volume coming along with it. It is a massive formation. This is going to go way up. Don't let anyone tell you different. And don't be excited for it. Be easy for it. It'll come on its own. Let's go to Ripple. Look at this. This is phenomenal. Let's go out to the 12-hour time frame, and still stepping back. It could be a time to stage in further as it's going, but it isn't for me. So I got my position as we were breaking out of this, and my add-on position hasn't come at all yet. I'm still waiting probably another few weeks. We'll talk about that as it plays out. Or you can come and take the course and get the information faster. Anyway, let's go on to Ripple in the Ichimoku cloud. 12-hour time frame has been loving it all the way along here. Let's go into the 4-hour just to look at it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that, coming a buy signal in the uptrend, coming down to touch the cloud, everything twisted over to the positive. Up we went. Loving to see the Ichimoku cloud giving us these extra signals. Now I'm going to finish by looking at Bitcoin dominance and acknowledging that we're coming out of a wicked top formation that we've been watching for a while, and saying that if we break below these levels, it's altcoin season. And it is. Altcoin season has already started, and we can see it in our Patreon Bull Market Watch spreadsheet. Look at this. It's crazy. We have right now 77 markets in Binance that are in hold status. 51 more that are in alert status. So if you are not up on which ones these are, consider becoming a patron sponsor for $15 a month. We update over 200 cryptos every day on your behalf. So what's that, 50 cents a day to keep track of every single crypto? And we send you an email that gives you this brief in the middle of the day. Should be going out here pretty soon, actually. And it'll tell you, not only that there are 51 alerts, but you can go and find out which ones are in alert status, which ones are in hold status. Put that together with the free training, and you have everything you need to follow along with this. If you want deeper research, be sure to come and check out our crypto trading signals. We go into opens, closes, profits, target. Instead of just color coding, you can see that we're up 65% in our MDA call, 64% in Vibe, 49% in Link, PPT. All of these early stage coins that we're taking off. First, we identified those bottom formations. We played them. Now there's a whole second wave of them setting up into alert status. This is the time to be paying attention to this stuff. There are links below the videos. I would love to see you sign up. I've got to sign off now, and I'm heading over to update details in our course, which is just unfolding. Thanks again for tuning in here. Let me know in the comments down below if you prefer the live version or if the recorded version does you just as well. Cheers. All the best in your crypto trading. Bye for now.